Add to the throne, something like Jordan, something like Kobe, something like LeBron James. Add to the throne.
A weekend of horror in Charlottesville, Virginia. Violence during a white nationalist rally culminating in the tragic loss of 3 lives, with Attorney General Jeff Sessions calling for a federal investigation. On Saturday, a Dodge Challenger with Ohio plates slamming into counter-protesters, killing 32-year-old Heather Heyer. The young victim from Greene County, Virginia, worked as a paralegal. On her
Hey, what's going on out there? I'd like to welcome y'all to the Elijah Clark Show. Today we're going to be talking about this craziness that was going on in Charlottesville, Virginia. Alright, now what happened was a group of racist bigots all across America got together. They planned this protest in Charlottesville, Virginia called Unite the Right. They were protesting the fact that the city there was planning to take down these Confederate statues of Civil War heroes that represented the Confederacy during the Civil War or whatnot. I think it was General Robert E. Lee's statue was the main statue that they wanted to take down and that they were protesting. So they planned this protest. It's been planned for I think a year in advance, maybe, that they planned this protest. They had permits to be out here protesting. Like I said, a group of racists from all over the country. You know, the Ku Klux Klan, the neo-Nazi movement, just pretty much your low-life trash of the United States of America. You know what I mean? So they out here protesting, which, as much as I may hate to say it, but it's their right to do so. You know what I mean? As long as they're out there, they just protesting. That's part of our country, you know what I mean? That's the freedom of speech, you know what I mean? We have the freedom of speech. As much as you might not like what somebody else has to say, that's the great thing about living in America. You have the right to say it or whatnot. But this is where the thing gets crazy, you know what I mean? Because you got these people that are coming there with bad intentions from the jump. So then you have other people that come there who didn't have permits to protest, but they came to counter their protest to show their displeasure with them being on their campus or in their city, having this protest or whatnot. When you get two groups together that don't like each other, that's diametrically opposed to each other, you're gonna have conflict. So you have these two different groups, and they say it's really like 3 different groups. Basically, like I said, you have the Unite the Right people, which is the skinheads, the neo-Nazis, and the Ku Klux Klan and whatnot. And then you had protesters that were there with Black Lives Matter. They would represent Black Lives Matter. That's counter-protesting their group. And that's another group of what they call Antifa. These people they're just totally against what the conservative movement has going on in this country. They're far leftist. Some people say they're Marxist or communist or whatnot. I'm not really big on their movement, and I'm not with them either. However, the demonstration that they had, it ended up turning violent. If you all remember the marches that we've had throughout this country in the past 2 years, 3 years or so, one of the biggest ones that come to mind right now is the march in Ferguson, where people were protesting the death of Michael Brown out in Ferguson. You remember the police showing up with tanks and spraying tear gas on people and all type of stuff, and just escalating the situation. Whereas those situations, they started out very peacefully for the most part, you know, over a terrible situation, another unarmed black man being shot down and murdered in the streets. You know what? But here you have these group of neo-Nazi skinheads and whatnot. They're out here. They got torches. They got clubs. They got assault rifles. They got everything. They come in here with bad intentions and to look menacing from the jump. But the police, they pretty much, like they are supposed to do, but they don't treat us this way. But like they're supposed to do, they let them have their protest as long as it wasn't getting out of hand. But that's the problem. It did get out of hand, and they still didn't intervene with the appropriate amount of force, you know what I mean? So you end up having this guy, James Alex Fields Jr., this lowlife that he is. He decides he's one of the protesters of the outright movement or whatnot. He's one of the protesters of the outright movement. He decides to get in his car and just start barreling through people that are out blocking the street in the protest. He ended up killing one young lady, and he also injured like numerous other people. I think the report said one woman died and 19 others were injured. Which leads me to my next point is I feel like personally, when you know that these people are gonna be out having these type of marches, rallies. I remember back during the presidential election, the Donald Trump rallies or whatnot. It's their right to have these rallies. As much as I might not agree with them, as much as I disagree with them, and as much as you may disagree with them or agree with them, it's their right to have them. If you go there at that rally and you're against the rally, you're going there to cause trouble, in my opinion. And maybe not even to cause trouble, but you're looking for trouble. You're looking for a confrontation. And I just want to tell my people how I feel, as I remember being 16 years old, going to the Million Man March in Washington, D.C., very peaceful event, very peaceful event. But I'm sure a lot of people didn't agree with that event throughout the country. So, like I said, it wasn't any counter protesters that I recall seeing. I don't recall seeing too many armed police that were bothering people. It was pretty much a peaceful event, and I understand that was a while ago. If the Klan wants to have that rally there, I feel like we as a people, we don't need to get involved in that. If they having their rally and we out there, who's going to get protected? It's going to be us at fault, or us not being protected, us getting brutalized, and we're not going to be protected by the police. As you see, like I said, this guy, James Alex Fields Jr., he killed one person, injured 19 others, and guess what? He was taken alive into custody. Taken into custody alive, Mugshot, he didn't look like he was beat up or nothing. He was just fine. And he did this in broad daylight for everybody to see, But he was taken into custody. Just like this picture here showing the policeman, young black man, he doing his job, but hey, we know who's going to get protected. We know whose rights are going to be protected. It's not going to be ours. So unless they're coming into our community, having these marches, don't go meet these people. Don't pay them no attention. Let them do what they're doing. If they don't get any attention, they'll stop doing it. And then you got the president, Donald Trump, coming out, not criticizing what's going on, acting like, just acting lost as he usually does. He's known to have white nationalists and things like that in his cabinet already. One of his advisors, Steve Bannon, he's a white nationalist. He's been known to support these type of movements. And that's the other problem that I'm having with people. People like, I can't believe this is going on. This 2017, this such and such. This shouldn't be going on. This is crazy. Now, this ain't crazy. This is what's been going on. This is what we've been marching for. This is what we've been talking about. It's just these people now, they're emboldened because they have their president in office, They don't have to, like a lot of them were out there without hoods on, without masks on. They're out there, And I feel like the ones that are being outed on Twitter or whatnot, and their names are going down, these people need to be registered as members of a terrorist organization. They were clearly out there with hate as their main thing. They were representing known terrorist organizations, the Ku Klux Klans, neo-Nazis. These are not peaceful groups. These are groups that missions are hate, hatred, war, death, to other people. These people need to be arrested, not only fired from their jobs and once their employers see them, kicked out of the schools and universities that they go to. They need to be registered as domestic terrorists. And I feel if they're going to be registered as domestic terrorists, this is like if members of Al-Qaeda were walking down the street having a march and they're out there and, I'm in Al-Qaeda. We're going to arrest them, Arrest these people. Arrest them for what they've done. Arrest them for the organization that they pledged to be in. They pledged to be in a terrorist organization. I see the link. Do y'all see the link? I also see the link that a lot of them are policemen, a lot of them are bankers, a lot of them are engineers. A lot of these are the same people that we as black people have to go to in this country to get loans, to get jobs, to get admissions to schools and things like that. Professors at universities that's grading papers and things like that are automatically biased towards us. You know, this is the type of things that we've been dealing with. I'm glad the rest of the country seeing it, and they want to say, oh, it's sad what's going on in Charlottesville. No, it's sad what's going on in this entire country. It's sad what's been going on in this country, you know. So, like I said, me personally, I ain't got enough time for it. I'm trying to focus on what's right, uniting our side, you know. And it's not our side against their side, but it really is. It's right against wrong, you know what I mean? You can see that's evil, the evilness that's there. And this is about uniting the black people in this country. We need to come together. And the main thing that we can do once we see what's going on and the rest of the country sees what's going on, it's not about getting out fighting these people. It's about taking back our communities, make our communities great again. Our communities used to be great, and they still can be great. And some of them are great already. We just need to bring that pride back. Bring that pride back in the community. Stop all this senseless killing and these beefs that we got going on amongst each other and realize we got a much bigger enemy out here. They keeping us down in this little box, and as long as we allow them to keep us in this little box, we're going to stay in this little box. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I'm out.
Something like God, something like hope, something like